All right. So we had internet interruption. We might have more. I don't know. Verizon decided. I said, I've been home for just about a month now. About a month. I think it's a month. I think it's honest. What's today's date? The 7th? Yeah. Okay. So it's been a month and 3 days. And I was like, I had a bunch of rest to get. I had to get some shit in order. I had some running around to do. I still got a lot of running around to do. And I want to completely revamp this room. That's coming this weekend. I can't wait. I was like, let me fucking chill out. And then I and my YouTube peoples, I said I'll start going live. I'll start doing videos. So I wait till Thursday, a month and 3 days after I no longer had to go to my day job. And this is when they choose to start fucking with the service. So, can't make it up. As we were back to where we're at, I understand the audience may not come back. The audience was here before. You guys were here. We got interrupted. We're live now. I'm going to chill out. And we are going to watch this fucking debate.
Bill, it was about prohibiting sex change operations on minors. They do puberty blockers. These are irreversible. Talk to Chloe Cole. She went through this. Now she's an adult. She's warning against it. She may never be able to have kids again. That is what Nikki Haley opposed. She said the law shouldn't get involved in that. And I just ask you, if you're somebody that's going to be the president of the United States and you can't stand up against child abuse, how are you going to be able to stand up for anything? That is the truth. We have it on video.
I said that if you have to be 18 to get a tattoo, you should have to be 18 to have anything done to change your gender.
You said the law should stay out of it.
I'm gonna get a fucking copyright strike because of a goddamn ad. We're gonna hang out a second. Let me post this to my Discord people. If you're not on Discord, check out the Unstable Children on Discord. A lot of fun. All your memeage, gardening, cooking, all kinds of shit. Hauntings, cop watch, all kinds of everything. COVID, Twitter, you name it. There'll be all kinds of shit. And my phone has hit that threshold where it's like your storage is full. So before I can go back to having any kind of fun, I gotta clear this goddamn phone out, which is happening. Yep.
Do you have an HDMI cable I can steal?
We will return with the live reaction coverage of the final GOP presidential debate for the 2024 election after the national anthem a couple of times. Excuse me, while we tend to a couple quick technical difficulties.
President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, fellow Americans, and people of the world, thank you. We, the citizens of America, are now joined in a great national effort to rebuild our country and restore its promise for all of our people. Together, we will determine the course of America and the world for many, many years to come. We will face challenges. We will confront hardships, but we will get the job done. Every 4 years, we gather on these steps to carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. And we are grateful to President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama for their gracious aid throughout this transition. They have been magnificent. Thank you.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro.
Sean, do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
It's your last chance to trade in any iPhone for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Has very special meaning because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you. It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America. This is your day. This is your celebration. And this, the United States of America, is your country. What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people. January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. Everyone is listening to you now. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before.
And now let's return to this fuck show of a circus of people who think they're going to take the people's person out of power. See, I'm going to do a whole Trump inauguration speech. I asked my own mother. She loves Trump. She supports him. She hates him as a person, which is fair. Personally, you can hate someone as a person. That's fine. But to deny the fact that he was the best president of our lifetime, that's a stretch. So, let's go back to this fucking debate while we got the internet. And, how's all this knocking? A whole bunch of knocking. I don't know. Let me go assess. Should I finish the Trump inauguration speech? Oh, shit. What the fuck is that?
This in more detail later. Let's finish with elected.
Oh, I had the autoplay on. Yeah, I like oldies music. I'm not gonna lie, especially right now too, wintertime. I like to put on good 1930s swing jazz and stuff, and it's cozy. This is supposed to be looped. Notice it says copyright free, YouTube. Fuck you. Oh, hang on. Alright, we'll finish the inauguration speech. I don't know what's going on. Give me a second. A lot of chaos.
At the center of this movement is a crucial conviction that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Americans want great schools for their children, safe neighborhoods for their families, and good jobs for themselves. These are just and reasonable demands of righteous people and a righteous public. But for too many of our citizens, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation, an education system flush with cash, but which leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge. And the crime, and the gangs, and the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
Keep It Quilted means you keep it the best. 3 layers of plush comfort you can see and feel. Keep it quilted because the best parts of your life deserve the best.
They're here.
So don't settle for anything less. Keep it quilted with Quilted Northern.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation. Being able to integrate and change and develop at my own pace. I offer a range of products and
we are one nation, and their pain is our pain. Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny. The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
How could you not understand why people adore this guy as president? And fuck me. This is my luck. The one time I picked 3:30 in the afternoon. Nobody should be home. Every day for a fucking month. And here goes the music again. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna lose my shit. Shut up. All right. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. No, I choose a Thursday, 3:30 in the afternoon. You know what? Fuck it. I'll do a live. We'll cover the debate. And it's all this chaos with the internets and people coming and all back and forth. Crazy. The one time I'm like, let's fuck it. Let's do a live early afternoon. And you're getting to see the chaos. Why nothing gets done. Because every time I try to do something, And then with this fucking... What the hell's going on here? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna fucking loop this. Because when that hits... It hits. And sometimes it lines up with what he's saying. It would make for beautiful snippets. You know, it's going to be up to us. Those of us that actually listened to the inauguration speech understood it. Loop. There we go. Play. F12, we get the fucking code out of there. Here. Okay. Now, we're going to finish out this inauguration speech. Jesus Christ, if something will just fucking line up and work right. It's one of those days. It's the only day I chose to be a day. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck it. You know what? 3:30 in the afternoon. We'll go live on Thursday. This way, it's not Friday. It's not the end of the week. There's no surprises. It's your typical normal fucking day. No. No, it's a day I chose to go live. So, let's have all this extracurricular shit going on. I don't need no extra curricular activities. I'm trying to do one fucking live. I want to do the GOP debate. But, you know what? I guess it worked out as a blessing in disguise. So, we're going to revisit the inauguration speech of Donald J. Trump. Jesus, I can't even talk. Words. My mouth's still healing. Bear with me. Arr. Every time someone says bear with me and we don't get to just destroy shit and attack humans, I get let down. But, Donald J. Trump, the best president of my fucking lifetime. And, I ask a lot of Trump supporters if they've ever actually heard his inauguration speech, and the majority of them said no. The vast majority. Like, I didn't exactly take a head count, but most people, it was always no. I said, then you don't understand, you don't actually comprehend the fucking movement. There's a reason they don't want this one man. And they're going after everybody who's ever retweeted his tweets, liked his tweets, quoted his tweets, went down there on January 6th. If you support Trump, this government wants to kill you. It's that simple. If you do not like and worship the government, you are on their kill list. That's it. It's that simple. Come back to me in about 10-15 years. Alright? Screenshot that. Just, record whatever. Alright. Back to it. We're going to finish this inauguration speech while I make sure there's no more fucking interruptions. And I think we finish this inauguration speech. And then take that in. Put that into the context. Put that as salt on the rim. And then try to suck down and swallow all this bullshit you're going to hear through this debate with people who don't belong on the stage. Alright. Welcome back. Leah. Hey, girl. Flat chest. How are you? I love you guys. Welcome back. Can't promise that that's going to be the last interruption, though. So, we will see. And I'm going to go run the perimeter real quick. Make sure everything's good and good. In the meantime, let's finish with the people's speech.
For many decades, we've enriched foreign industry at the expense of American industry, subsidized the armies of other countries while allowing for the very sad depletion of our military. We've defended other nations' borders while refusing to defend our own. And spent trillions and trillions of dollars overseas while America's infrastructure has fallen into disrepair and decay. We've made other countries rich, while the wealth, strength, and confidence of our country has dissipated over the horizon. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers that were left behind. The wealth of our middle class has been ripped from their homes and then redistributed all across the world. But that is the past, and now we are looking only to the future.
Why the fuck wasn't Obama clapping? Because Obama hates America. They were just days away from fundamentally changing this nation. You know what you don't do to something you love? You don't fundamentally change it. By those words, it was his own admission that he absolutely hated America. The Democrat Party hates America.
We assembled here today are issuing a new decree to be heard in every city, in every foreign capital, and in every hall of power. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Oh my God. It's so extreme. He's extreme. Somebody stop that man. You know what? Go ahead. Take all your homeless friends in. Tell them they can take a shower in your house. But don't pay your fucking water bill. Don't pay your fucking electric bill. Don't pay your fucking rent. What are you inviting the homeless people back to? Sounds like you're gonna be homeless, right? You need to take care of you first. America first is not extreme. The people running the nation is not extreme. America was the powerhouse of the planet. And how did they do that? They unleashed the power of man. They laid back and cut the lines of government rule and regulation. And we became the richest and most powerful nation in the fastest amount of time in knowable human history. We conquered. We developed. We unleashed the power of mankind. But that's not what they want. They want government regulation and control. Government doesn't create anything. Government stifles everything. Everything. You want to start a business? You need to get a license. You need to get insurance. You need this. You need that. And then you got to get commercial plates. And you can only drive on these roads. That's government. When government got the fuck out of the way and people were like, yo, I'm going to provide a good or a service that people are, they're in need of. I'm going to answer the call of a need. Oh, we boomed. We boomed like crazy. Government has never created a thing in its life. All it's done is stole it and used it for its own benefit. Government is a giant organism. It's a big leech, a fucking piece of bacteria that stifles and inhibits the growth. We would have flying cars by now if it wasn't for government. Back to the goddamn with all this extra bullshit going on. All right, so we're gonna go back. I'm gonna attempt for the fucking third time. Three's a charm, right? Star Spangled Banner, Trump's inauguration speech, and go. Madonna mia. What do I ask for? Very little. What do I get? Ungats. Okay. And we're gonna loop. Loop. Bang. Okay. Here we go.
Every
we're gonna get to the
decision
debate.
on trade,
Lord help
on
me if we make
taxes,
it.
on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs. Protection will lead to great prosperity and strength. I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down. America will start winning again, winning like never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. We will bring back our wealth. And we will bring back our dreams.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro. Sean.
I'm gonna throw my computer out the window soon.
We will build new roads and highways and bridges and airports and tunnels and railways all across our wonderful nation. We will get our people off of welfare and back to work, rebuilding our country with American hands and American labor. We will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American.
All right, I cut that right there for a second, though, because that was a pretty perfect cut. Okay, sometimes the universe moves in mysterious ways. And I will say, as much as I hated the ad and the interruption, because we've had enough of those tonight, that was pretty fucking sweet timing. Alright. I just want to say, sometimes, I got mad. I was going to throw my computer out the fucking window. With we finally got it running, the ad interruption, but the way it timed out the speech with the national anthem, that snippet, that was gold. That was a gold hit. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to check out the chat here. Who we got back in the house? I see there's only 3. We had many more before. We got FCF, Leah. Where the fuck's Tony and everybody and all them? Where's Fly? Where's Blunt Man? I know it's early. Well, it's even earlier for you guys. Some of you guys. It is 4:52. So minus 3 hours. It'd be about 2 in the afternoon. In some of the places some people are. It's 2 in the morning where other people are, and everybody else is in between. I swear to God, the second I hit play on this Trump inauguration speech, this fucking national anthem is gonna stop looping, and then you're gonna hear the women in swing jazz from the 1930s again. Let's refresh all of this. Loop. Yes. Okay. And I'll bring you back. Oh, I didn't have that playing the whole time. Okay. Sorry. So it's just me. You literally dealt with my fucking voice for a second. God bless you. You're more patient, tolerant than they give you credit for.
We will seek friendship and goodwill with the nations of the world. but we do so with the understanding that it is the right of all nations to put their own interests first. We do not seek to impose our way of life on anyone, but rather to let it shine as an example. We will shine for everyone to follow. We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth. At the bedrock of our politics will be a total allegiance to the United States of America. And through our loyalty to our country, we will rediscover our loyalty to each other. When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. The Bible tells us how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. We must speak our minds openly, debate our disagreements honestly, but always pursue solidarity. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable. There should be no fear. We are protected, and we will always be protected. We will be protected by the great men and women of our military and law enforcement. And most importantly, we will be protected by God. Finally, we must think big and dream even bigger. In America, we understand that a nation is only living as long as it is striving. We will no longer accept politicians who are all talk and no action, constantly complaining but never doing anything about it.
Hey there, family, while you're shopping.
Goddamn cunt. God damn it. With this. These fucking ads. Not allowed to use air blocker with YouTube. I'm never paying you, YouTube. We're gonna fucking whatever. Here we go. See again though, the timing keeps working out. The
time for empty talk
after the
is
end.
over.
Perfect.
Now arrives the hour of action. Do not allow anyone to tell you that it cannot be done. No challenge can match the heart and fight and spirit of America. We will not fail. Our country will thrive and prosper again. We stand at the birth of a new millennium, ready to unlock the mysteries of space, to free the earth from the miseries of disease, and to harness the energies, industries, and technologies of tomorrow. A new national pride will stir our souls, lift our sights, and heal our divisions.
We're going to cheat and count this
It's time to
Maga talking
remember
point.
that old wisdom our soldiers will never forget, that whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots.
Red blood of patriots. Oh yeah.
We all enjoy the same glorious freedoms, and we all salute the same great American flag. And whether a child is born in the urban sprawl of Detroit or the windswept plains of Nebraska, They look up at the same night sky, they fill their heart with the same dreams, and they are infused with the breath of life by the same Almighty Creator. So to all Americans, in every city, near and far, small and large, from mountain to mountain, from ocean to ocean, hear these words: you will never be ignored again. Your voice, your hopes, and your dreams will define our American destiny. And your courage and goodness and love will forever guide us along the way. Together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. God bless America.
Just to do a little recap before we get back into this. Oh, fuck sure of a goddamn debate. Can you imagine being a Krispy Kreme clown on a stage screaming a bunch of nonsense? See, that's the beauty. I could take the national anthem, put it on repeat, and just play it. Most people have not heard Trump's inaugural speech, and it astonishes me. I am flabbergasted at the amount of people that have not heard Trump's inauguration speech. Oh, look what I brought it back on. Trump and Obama, huh? Okay. We're gonna state something for them. We're gonna shut that the fuck up for a second. Jesus Christ. This picture right here. To be honest, you see that look? There's concern in that look. You see his left hand up on his shoulder? It's okay, kid. A lot of these people should be fucking whacked for treason. I'm sorry. It's what it is. You know? If Trump was guilty, okay, I tend to look deeper into things. I was trained as a detective early on in my life. Okay. So when I look into things and I look into stuff, some of these people have committed some crimes that have some pretty harsh penalties. And that's as far as I'm going to go with it. Look at everything they threw at Trump. You know, this is for the simpletons. You know, if Trump was actually fucking guilty of half the shit they accused him of, he'd already be in jail, bro. Why is he not in jail? Is he the Teflon Don? He did all these things and somehow escapes justice? No. I don't know how any of the people in any assemblies, any houses, or any group of government looks and says, there's no actual evidence against Biden. With no evidence. Unsubstantial claims. Or whatever the fuck the terminology, the vernacular is. No, there is. These are your bank records. So you're saying the bank records lied? And the bank records lied against Trump. Did you know this whole thing with Trump over-evaluating or overvaluing the price of his property to take out equity loans essentially on him. They said Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million. it's probably worth in lieu of $800 million. They went by the tax assessment. They said, well, the government only charges you this much a year to own it. Therefore, that's its value. First of all, the government shouldn't be charging property tax. Property tax. You got to pay property tax, right? Right? You buy your home. You buy your property. You pay off the mortgage. And you get through the loan process. But you got to pay property tax. And if you don't, the government takes your land. You don't own anything. Property. You don't own your property. You do not own your property. You buy a car, a vehicle, something like that. Yeah, you own that outright. That's fine. But then you got to pay the henchmen for the government to drive it on their fucking roads that they take your tax dollars and they build the roads with. So it's your roads, it's your car, but you can't drive it without government's permission. Yeah. You don't own anything. You'll own nothing and you'll like it. You'll eat bugs too to change the weather. Did you know that if you ate bugs, the weather would get gooder? I didn't know. That was news to me, but mealworms for all. That's the equality. Okay, we're going to get back. We're going to close this, and we're going to get to the fucking debate. I'm glad to see a bunch more of you jumping back in. I apologize for that interruption. Yeah, well, it's whatever. There's going to be a lot more random fucking lives. Well, I'm not allowed to work right now, and I got to get cleared for work. I want to go back to work. I can't do this. I'm going nuts here. Well, next couple days, we're going to have some fun through this weekend, too. So, we went through that. You ready for the fucking debate? Here we go. To listen to any of these sons of bitches right now, it's gonna piss you off. It's gonna piss you off. There's nothing you can say that stands up to that speech. There's nothing no one could say. That speech is the speech. What's that? What? My pack? I got a package? Oh, I got a package. Alright. I will be back. Give me a second. We'll take a 5-minute break. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. We will bring back our wealth. And we will bring back our dreams. We will build new roads and highways and bridges and airports and tunnels and railways all across our wonderful nation. We will get our people off of welfare and back to work, rebuilding our country with American hands and American labor. We will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American. We will seek friendship and goodwill with the nations of the world, but we do so with the understanding that it is the right of all nations to put their own interests first. We do not seek to impose our way of life on anyone, but rather to let it shine as an example. We will shine for everyone to follow. We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth. At the bedrock of our politics will be a total allegiance to the United States of America. And through our loyalty to our country, we will rediscover our loyalty to each other. When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. The Bible tells us how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. We must speak our minds openly, debate our disagreements honestly, but always pursue solidarity. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable. There should be no fear. We are protected, and we will always be protected. We will be protected by the great men and women of our military and law enforcement. And most importantly, we will be protected by God. Finally, we must think big and dream even bigger. In America, we understand that a nation is only living as long as it is striving. We will no longer accept politicians who are all talk and no action, constantly complaining, but never doing anything about it.
We are back. All right, I am back. Jesus Christ. All right. Woo. Okay, so we got all that other shit out of the way. I think it worked out well. You know what? There was a lot of good snippets. I loved the way the music kept lining up with the points of his speech. And I think a lot of people could learn a lot of lessons by listening to that. And most people, like I said, most people I know that even are voting for Trump never heard that speech. That speech says a lot. Kind of says it all. So, now we're going to move on to the debate. And it's going to be tough to come from those points, to come from that level of patriotism. It's going to make it much easier to see through the fabric of bullshit that you're about to witness with a lot. I don't even know what half these people are doing on stage. You know what I mean? So we're going to go. You're going to get a paisan from New York or Yankee. But I'm a Yankee. Turncoat, look out. Fuck you. Fuck you, I'm a threeper, bitch. And we're gonna dissect this shit. We'll dissect it. Words have meaning. And I think the meaning of words needs to be defined better for today's youth. Kind of like these motherfuckers need maps. They really thought Alaska was an island. There's Americans who think Alaska is an island because it's in a separate little part of the map. They don't. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. American education. American students are ranked low.
But trust me, we're coming back to this issue. Mr. Ramaswamy,
yeah, we're going to come back to that
months,
issue.
You campaigned as a unifier. Then you stood up at the first debate and attacked all of your competitors as bought and paid for. The second debate, you changed your tune, saying these are good people on this stage, admitting you can come across as a bit of a know-it-all and rejecting the practice of personal insults. By debate number 3, you called Nikki Haley corrupt, accused Ron DeSantis of wearing high heels, and told Ambassador Haley she should keep a closer eye on her daughter.
Oh, all of those points were valid. It's not like he spouted bullshit. That was truth. They don't like truth.
Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact, a unifier, and to question your authenticity?
Okay, attention here, folks. This whole unity, inclusivity, equity, unifier. How are you going to unify with people who think you're colonizing trespassers and genociders? When they think you're evil, you're dehumanized. How do you unify that? I got news for you. With the generations of kids being raised today, there is no bridging the gap. There will never be an understanding between some of us. And that needs to be understood right fucking now. People who are calling for the genocide of other people while calling me a Nazi and a fascist, when I stand for free speech and the right to bear arms, I stand for liberty and limited government. So for someone who's acting a lot like a Nazi to call me a Nazi, it really doesn't. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever. They talk about this book burning shit. There ain't no book burning shit on our side. See, we want to take literal porn out of the hands of 8th graders. We don't give 8th graders porn and talk to them about our sexualities. We don't use our children as therapists to validate what we like to do when we decide to get kinky and have sex. That's the disconnect. It's different. That's child abuse. Yeah, of course an 8-year-old is gonna, and they're gonna want to emulate you too. You know how impressionable kids are? Do you know how impressionable kids are? They want to emulate. And depending on what you're exposing them to. What the people on the left, do you know what they were banning? Dr. Seuss. Because it was racist. Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss. It's no comparison. Okay. You guys are banning books. What are we doing? We're saying get explicitly X-rated material out of the hands of fucking 9-year-olds. What are you banning? Dr. Seuss. Anne Frank was never banned. It was put up, it was suggested, it was overlooked, and it was cleared. The Don't Say Gay. don't say gay. Are you aware that there is a international charter, or an international charter of human rights? And in that, it explicitly lays out that whatever education your children are going to get, you have a say in. It's up to your discretion. Check out my Facebook. You can see it there. I explicitly lay it out. It's a human right. Determined to be a human right. The state does not own your children. And that's the big disconnect. So, we'll go back to this while we got service. Don't let me jinx it.
Idea of yours would be legal. Would it include sending American forces into combat?
10 months. And then when they decided after COVID that they...
We're gonna get...
Fuck me, I hit the bar. Where was I? We were pretty early in.
Keep it cool.
Oh, the fucking ads. Look at this. Alright, you might see me throw a computer tonight. This is gonna be fun. I'm fucking believable. I gotta update my air blocking software.
The government should identify every one of those individuals with an ID. That is not freedom. That is fascism. And she...
Alright, I know where they're at. She did say that. She doesn't believe in anonymity when it comes to you speaking on the internet. You should not be able to be anonymous. Now, that's how you're gonna get honesty. She wants to track and trace every online account. That's what it comes down to. You can't just be a part of the internet anonymously. You need to show Z papers. And that's the best way to describe it. But now, if everybody had to show their true face, you wouldn't get half the honesty. You wouldn't let people expose themselves. But people need to be able to expose themselves. Now, if you didn't have freedom of speech, you wouldn't know what anybody thought. How would you trust anybody? Let people speak their mind so you know what they stand for. And then you could choose whether or not you align with them. I mean, I don't get it. Any kind of censorship outside of there's certain times censorship, we all know, anyone with common sense knows that keeping explicit adult material, whether it be snuff, gore type shit, sexual shit, you don't expose children to that. You don't rob their innocence. Okay? I've seen a lot of things in my life. And I've saw some things pretty fucking early. Now remember, I was young at the dawn of the internet. So I saw Rotten.com, all that shit. My innocence was taken very fucking early. And I knew what kind of world the world is. You know. Kids weren't exposed to that shit. That was real shit. Video games, whatever. Most people with common sense, you understand, that's a video game. That's not real life. Real life's a little different. You gotta navigate that game different. You really do. I can't believe I'm alive today. If you would have put statistics into play, I should have been dead. When I went, the way I went down, I should have been dead. I should not be here right now. So, whatever. Apparently, I have a mission to accomplish. So, here we are. Back to the bullshit.
We removed 2 of his radical district attorneys. We beat the Democrats on election integrity. I have delivered results. That's what we need for this country. And you have other candidates up here like Nikki Haley. She caves anytime the left comes after her, anytime the media comes after her. I did a bill in Florida to stop the gender mutilation of minors. It's child abuse and it's wrong. She opposes that bill. She thinks it's fine and the law shouldn't get involved with it. If you're not willing to stand up for the
of wearing high heels and told Ambassador.
Okay, I think this is where we were because we saw that before. How late am I? Blunt man. Oh, you're just in. If you go back when everything's all said and done and you watch from the beginning, there were so many interruptions. Technically, we're just starting now. It's just getting underway. So you're just in time, sir. Good to see you, Bo. I miss you, Bo. How's everything? Happy holiday season. But I'll tell you, this, outside of like every other year ever, this particular holiday season, I don't feel that holiday rush, push, hustle, and bustle. There's no craziness right now. Probably because people can't afford it, really. So everybody's kind of calm this season. But there's a different energy to this Christmas season. It's different. Normally it's chaos. It's not chaos right now. I don't know how to explain it. If anybody else understands what I'm saying, drop it in the comments.
Ambassador Haley, she should keep a closer eye on her daughter. Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact, a unifier and to question your authenticity?
Megan, I think there's a time and place for everything. We need somebody in the White House who absolutely is going to be a fighter when it counts. And
oh yeah, that was the original point. There's no unification. You're gonna burn down churches, destroy pregnancy centers, and then embrace Islam. It's a political ideology, and human rights cease to exist wherever Islam takes over the government. And that's a fact. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. So, there's a lot of people calling for the extermination of Jews in the name of Palestinians and Hamas. It's Hamas. They don't want Israel to exist. Israel has already given up so much land back. We designated a spot, a safe haven for the Jewish people. I think there's 20 million, somewhere around 20 million Jews on the planet. There's 8 billion people and there's 20 million Jews. Okay? So there's just a little perspective on that. I'm not getting into that whole shit. All I'm saying is, if you're defending Hamas or resistance of Palestine, the Palestinian people are oppressed by Hamas. Hamas are terrorists that put babies in ovens, and then they were raping women over and over again, and then shooting them in their genitals, breaking their legs, torturing them to death. Imagine being raped over and over again and then tortured to death. That's what those people did. That's what Hamas did to women. When it's insane, and they posted it all. You could see it. That's real. That's real shit. Okay, Israeli soldiers. If I go over there, say I go over to eliminate a threat, the last thing on my mind is raping a fucking woman. If I see a woman and child, I want to protect them from what the fuck is going on. That's not what they do. They're monsters. They're monsters. How do you even get I'm gonna get a little explicit here. How do you get an erection to rape somebody? How does that even work? Like, if you're raping someone, how do you even get hard, bro? If you're getting hard before you rape somebody, something's wrong with you. That's how I feel. Something's wrong with you. Cause that shouldn't happen. You never have sex with someone against their will like that. How do you even function? Something's wrong. There's a wire crossed somewhere. Know what I mean?
I did say that there were some good people on that stage in that third debate. Doug Burgum was on that stage at that time, and I'll say that jokingly. Ron DeSantis is a good person, too. I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is.
You know, I gotta, real quick, yeah, Bowen, that she left thousands of people fucking homeless over. Yep, thousands of people homeless. And once she kicked them out of their homes, the land sat vacant.
And now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt. And when I said they were bought and paid for, I meant the Republican establishment, not the Democratic establishment. Now you have Reid Hoffman, the person who's effectively George Soros Jr., funding lawsuits across this country against Donald Trump, taking off the ballot, funding left-wing causes. We discovered this week that he is one of Nikki Haley's largest supporters. Larry Fink, the king of the woke industrial complex, the ESG movement, the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world, now supporting Nikki Haley. And to say that doesn't affect her is false, because it's after that meeting later that day that she says that every American needs to be doxxed by having their ID, their government-issued ID, tied to what they say on the internet. So I think that this is far more corrupt than I even imagined when I...
Boy! When the internet was first invented, it's the wild fucking west. When you decide to sign on to the internet, because remember, you don't have to. In your day-to-day, to go to the deli and buy breakfast, to go to the gas station and fuel up, to go to work, you don't need to be on the internet. The internet is the Wild West of connectivity created by people to connect people. That's it. It's the Wild fucking West. Protect yourself. You know, what is it? What's the ratio? I think it's like 90% of the internet is the dark web. And y'all don't even know about onion routers. You guys, a lot of you don't know about the dark web. You could buy people on the dark web. It's fucking crazy, the world out there. No, we don't need an internet identity registry. Because when they start using facial recognition and then AI to predetermine crime. What is that? What was that movie? Total Recall? Some shit. Where the cameras, they do facial they recognize you and they go, oh, he has a 80% chance of robbing someone. And you're just getting tracked and traced and all this shit. No, I don't know. I gotta watch it. I don't watch movies, so I've never actually seen it. But I'm referencing something someone else referenced, so it's a hearsay reference. If it sounds like anything you've ever seen, let me know. But I'm glad to see you all back. Let's go back through this. These motherfuckers. Nikki Haley. She's Governor Whitmer and Kathy Hochul in one. It's the evil warmongering bitch that doesn't give a fuck about anybody's life. She made thousands of people homeless for no fucking reason.
Entered politics, but I will say this. It is going to take a leader from the outside with fresh legs from the next generation to unite this country. Not the broken politicians who are puppets of the puppet masters, but the actual people in this country. Thomas Jefferson was 33 when he wrote the Declaration.
Okay. All right. I do want to add this a little bit, though, because there is a lot about Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek. Vivek. A lot of people calling him fake, fraudulent. A lot of people saying a lot of things. He took money from Soros with the college fund back in the day. There's a lot about him. Why did you scrub your Wikipedia? I know it all. Trust me. I'm aware. What I will say is he's not doing himself any favors by acting the way he is. For Chris Christie to call him a blowhard and the people react to that, he's not tarnishing his record for no reason. So, what I really want to pay attention to is how many people are cheering for what he's saying. Because I'm pretty sure that when he's going back and forth with people, more people are cheering for what Vivek is saying.
Of independence, I think it's going to take somebody whose best days in life are still ahead to see a country whose best days are ahead of itself. And I think I can reach that next generation better than anybody else in this race.
Thank you. Response.
Megan. First of all, we weren't bankrupt when I left the UN. We're people of service. My husband is in the military, and I served our country as UN ambassador and governor. It may be bankrupt to him, but it certainly wasn't bankrupt to us. Secondly, I did serve on the board of Boeing. I did a lot of work with Boeing when I was governor. They were a great partner to me. I served for 10 months. And then when they decided after COVID that they wanted to go for a corporate bailout, I've never supported corporate bailout, so I respectfully stepped back and got off the board. I love Boeing. They build good commercial airplanes. They build airplanes for our Air Force. I am proud of them.
Whoa. We got to address something right now. I'm such a shill. A shill for what? Are you talking to me? Was Damon calling me a shill? What am I a shill for? I am absolutely a shill for liberty and free humans. I'm a First Amendment and Second Amendment absolutist. Let's clarify, Damon, what you meant. Who's a shill and for what? Because I don't. Maybe I read that. I definitely read it out of context. I don't know what you were responding to. Yeah. I'm too honest for my own good most of the time.
They employ a lot of people in South Carolina, but that's why I left the Boeing board. There's nothing to what he's saying. And in terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them, but I'm not going to sit there and
Let me get the governor in and then I'll go
So,
to Governor
and
Sanders.
Vivek, he wrote a book talking about ESG and these woke corporations and BlackRock. The idea that I want to do that in Florida, they were managing our part of our pension, and then when they did the ESG, I took $2 billion away from BlackRock. We took action. This ESG, they call it environment, social governance, and again, Nikki is meeting with all these people. They want to use economic power to impose a left-wing agenda on this country. They want basically to change society without having to go through the constitutional process. We've kneecapped it in the state of Florida. The next president of the United States needs to be able to go to that office on day one and end ESG. And the fact of the matter is, we know from her history, Nikki will cave to those big donors when it counts. And that is not acceptable.
I did write that book, Ron, and the irony is Nikki Haley was heaping praise on me when I wrote that book, but now I worry. I was warning about the woke industrial complex in this country as a warning. Apparently, she read it as a how-to manual, just like she reads George Orwell's books as well. And so I think that that's actually far more dangerous than
Bazinga.
People understand. We're marching towards fascism under Biden. Jack Smith has subpoenaed every last retweet that someone has issued from Donald Trump in the year 2020. The only person more fascist than the Biden regime now is Nikki Haley, who thinks the government should identify every one of those individuals with an ID. That is not freedom. That is fascism. And she should come nowhere near the levers of power, let alone the White House.
I've got to get to Governor Christie. I haven't forgotten about you,
but can I just say,
can you speak to...
I really appreciate it.
How you doing, sir?
Good to see you.
Can you please speak to the requirement that you
Oh
said
my goodness.
that every anonymous
It's getting hot
internet
in
user
here.
needs to out themselves. They're both hitting you on it.
I would be happy to, and I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that. I'll say this. What I said was that social media companies need to show us their algorithms. I also said there are millions of bots on social media.
Okay, so government needs to approve of your software programming. That's regulation, first off. Second of all, bots.
Right now. They're foreign, they're Chinese, they're Iranian.
They're also American. Bots are a part of the internet. It's the wild, wild west. It's freedom. Government regulation of internet. We probably wouldn't be able to have this live right now. Just wait. 10 years from now, we try to have a live like this, we'll end up in shackles.
I will always fight for freedom of speech for Americans.
Unless you want to be anonymous online.
We do not need freedom of speech for Russians and Iranians and Hamas.
Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. Well, if you're Russian, you're Russian. If you're here in America and you're Russian, no freedom of speech for you. Iranians and Hamas. Oh no, expose yourselves. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. At least you get to speak your piece, and then I could judge you for your message. Not this bitch. She'll have you shackled for sharing memes.
We need social media companies to go and fight back on all of these bots that are happening. That's what I said. As a
Bots are free speech. It's coding.
As a mom, do I think that social media would be more civil if we went and had people's names next to that? Yes, I do think that, because I think we've got too...
Because you need to register by your opinion so we could use it against you at a later date. It's not about what you're saying. It's about who's saying what. Imagine being an election denier with those laws. Oh. None of us would have jobs.
Too much cyberbullying. I think we've got child pornography.
Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying. You're choosing to engage back. Leave it alone. If it was cyberbullying, if you could be cyberbullied, then you don't belong on the fucking internet. If someone's harassing you, we got laws against that. Pornography for children, that's up to you as a parent. The internet is the Wild West. This is the Wild West. This is person on person. And everybody wants to pretend like humans are a righteous and good species. No. Conquest, conquer, rape, pillage, murder, death, beheading, torture, enslavement. That is the nature of human. If you want to change that, then be the difference, but don't act like that ain't what humans are. Humans are dog eat dog, sick, malicious, vindictive sons of bitches. Ain't nothing good about the human species. With the exception of a few, and God forbid you try to help people out, you get fucked in the ass for it. Alright? That's where that expression, no good deed goes unpunished. Remember that. These motherfuckers out here acting like, oh, everybody, we should just what? It's about time we start persecuting evil again. And leaving the rest of people alone.
Having said that, I never said government should go and require anyone's name.
False. She said, I want your name. She President of the United States, her first day in office, she said, one of the first things I'm going to do.
I said we were going to get the millions of bots.
She wants government ID to dox every American.
That's what she said. You can roll the tape. She said,
okay. I want your name. No, I said get rid of bots. Okay, how do you determine what's not a bot? You gotta register your name. No, I said no bots. I didn't say I need everyone's name. How do you determine what's a bot? Oh my God. She thinks you're stupid. That's the problem. She's a fucking Democrat rocking a Republican ballot fucking label.
I want your name. And that was going to be one of the first things she did in office. And then she got real serious blowback, and understandably so, because it'd be a massive expansion of government. We have anonymous speech. The Federalist Papers were written with anonymous writers. Jay, Madison, and Hamilton, they went under Publius. It's something that's important, and especially given how conservatives have been attacked and they've lost jobs and they've been canceled. You know the regime would use that to weaponize that against our own people.
Okay,
It was a bad idea, and she should own up to it.
Burn!
And then there is the governor, former governor of New Jersey.
This cracks me up because Ron is so hypocritical, because he actually went and tried to push a law that would stop anonymous people from talking to the press, and went so far to say bloggers should have to register with the...
Okay, now. That's true. And I'm sorry. I do have to, I got the light on. Bang. Ghost. Put my headphone. What? Now Mickey Mouse. But Ron DeSantis, the laws he passed, there was a lot of good ones, a lot of policies that I agree with, and I was glad to see enacted. But, and there's a but, there's a lot of shit within those fucking bills that got passed that's basically the antithesis of what his entire movement is supposed to be. Just like I had issues with Trump, there's issues with DeSantis. And if he can't own up to him, she's right about that one. There was a few of them about reporting and shit that I even mentioned. If you follow me on Facebook, you already know. Because Facebook's where you're going to get the most shit. Except for right now. Because it's scrambling. I ran out of storage on my phone. We'll get back to Facebook. Don't worry about it. But for now, that point she just made, 100%. The bills he allowed to be passed, fuck the people too.
The state, if they're going to write about elected officials, it was in the, check your newspaper. It was absolutely there.
Some
I
legislation.
have never said government should...
No more.
Trample on your constitutional
You can come
rights.
back to it later.
This is more dangerous than the
You're
Democrats.
lying. This section's over. Okay. Governor Christie.
Really?
Just that
I'm usually not somebody who gets missed, but okay, let's go.
What's happening?
All right, everybody. Governor Krispy Kreme in the house.
Okay, I got you.
Honestly, I don't even know what him. I don't know what the fuck Governor Krispy Kreme's doing here. Nikki Haley said she wasn't going to run, so I don't know why she's here. She's not running. She said she wouldn't run. That was her word. That was her statement. But she just decided to throw what's integrity. Throw it right out the window. DeSantis and Ramaswamy, the only motherfuckers that belong on that stage. I think DeSantis would make a great vice president, and I think Ramaswamy would be a great cabinet member. I think that would be the dream team. And then they could kind of mentor Ramaswamy. Now I'm ready to turn 12 years into another 8 more. You know what I mean? That'd be 20 years. But then the world doesn't want it. You see, you gotta understand. You're at war with China. You're at war with Russia. You're at war with the rest of the planet. And if you ever go to Seagore.com and you watch people around the world get hacked up into fucking pieces, because it's real easy. Just go to Seagore.com. I don't recommend it if you're weak. I've seen plenty of people hacked up into pieces. That's the way the world works. You get beheaded, you get tortured. Like, a lot of people act like this isn't real. That's not real. That's not real shit. People getting raped, their legs broken, people getting cut into pieces, skinned alive. I mean, this kind of shit. And you could just see it. You go to seegore.com. Very easy. You could see an innocent girl just get hacked into pieces. Just for the film itself. That's humanity. So, we gotta call out this shit. There's no sugarcoating. When you know what man will do to man, you gotta wake the fuck up. I mean, that's what it is. Why did man create guns? Okay, so to hunt, to better hunt with. Okay. Why did man invent defensive plans? How did guys come into war? Why did people invent nukes? ICBMs. Why are we so good at war? That's humanity. And it's about time y'all fucking embrace humanity for what it is. So if you find a patch of people that are about peace and harmony, real peace and harmony, not selective though. Now there's cultures that aren't about peace. And I'm sorry, Islam is not a peaceful culture. Not by any means. And that's what the fuck it is. You gotta pay attention to what the fuck's going on here. I think Vivek needs to be trained a little bit. DeSantis would make a great VP.
Listen, you endorsed Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. You gave him an A for his first term. Since then, however, you've turned on him, calling him a liar, a loser, a con man, and someone who cannot win.
They mentioned Trump. Drink word. It's about time we hit a fucking drink word. I could use a goddamn drink about now. Let's have that drink. All right? Drink word. Trump. They mentioned Trump. Let's go. Cheers. Peace and hair grease. It's all downhill from here, motherfuckers.
You've even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump. His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%. Yours is at 25%. Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won. Respectfully, Governor, you have not stopped Mr. Trump, and voters may wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
He fucking can't, and we can't stand him.
Yeah, well, look, Megan, it's often very difficult to be the only person on the stage who's telling the truth.
Like, the beach is closed, yet you're out there on a fucking... Jesus Christ. It was like from the 1990s. It was like that. It was like hollow like a straw. The fucking fold-out chairs with the aluminum fucking frame, and then it was like all the fucking individual straw wrappings. It was just sitting on the beach. It was closed for everybody else. Much like a bridge. We'll get to that.
The only person who is taking on what needs to be taken on. I look at my watch now. We're 17 minutes into this debate, and except for your little...
Jesus fucking Christ, 17 minutes? We're gonna have like 3 parts to this video. There's no way if this is 17 minutes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what? We might end the week with the fucking debate. With all the technical difficulties and all the other bullshit. Alright, we're having some fun right now, but we might have... Jesus fucking Christ.
Of stabilizer braces.
Shut up, bitch.
That was not...
Now the mic stand, everything fell. Okay. This is gonna be a tomorrow thing.
Faith and college football.
That's the type of shit that happens when you go live. Just cocksucker.
hypocritical because he actually went and tried to push a law that would stop anonymous people from talking to the press, and went so far to say bloggers should have to register with the state if they're going to write about elected officials. It was in the check your newspaper. It was absolutely there. I have never said government should
trample on your constitutional
You can come
rights.
back to it later.
This is more dangerous than the Democrats.
You're lying.
This section's over. Okay. Governor Christie.
Really?
Just that
I'm usually not somebody who gets missed, but okay, let's go.
What's happening? Okay, I got you. Listen, you endorsed Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. You gave him an A for his first term. Since then, however, you've turned on him, calling him a liar, a loser, a con man, and someone who cannot win.
Now remember, Governor Christie was somebody who was advising Donald Trump for the debates. So he was like his right-hand man. He was a loaf of liquor.
You've even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump. His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%. Yours is at 25%. Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won. Respectfully, Governor, you have not stopped Mr. Trump, and voters may wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
Yeah, well, look, Megan, it's often very difficult to be the only person on the stage who's telling the truth, and the only person who is taking on what needs to be taken on. I look at my watch now. We're 17 minutes into this debate.
That's
and
it.
except for your little speech in the beginning,
this is like a
we've had
3-hour
these
live
three
cast so far.
acting as if the race is between the four of us.
For 17 minutes.
The fifth guy, who doesn't have the guts to show up and stand here, he's the one who, as you just put it, is way ahead in
the fifth guy, meaning Trump, who doesn't have the guts to come up and say, why the fuck would Trump waste his time sitting at a debate for his potential VP? No way in hell. None of you people are going to beat Trump. You're not getting my vote. None of you. None of you. You guys, as far as I'm concerned, are sitting here making asses out of yourself to become VP. And that's it. That's it. And it's not a cult thing. At this point, it's a statement. To vote for Trump is a statement because we see the weaponization and the corruption of our fucking government used against one man. And if you had anything on him, if he was guilty of any of the things that you've been accusing him of, he'd be in a prison cell. And he's not. He's the voice of the people. Did you not pay attention? Go back. Just rewind. Go back a bit. You'll see the other part if you want to go back to my channel. The inauguration speech. It's about us. When you stomp on fucking Trump like that, you're stomping on us. That speech, that statement is the statement. And you have to bend the laws to go after this man. You have to play it illegal. Jack Smith belongs in prison.
the polls.
And then Governor Krispy Kreme is going to go, oh, Trump's scared. Yeah. The only thing that's afraid of this fucking fat piece of shit motherfucker right here, the only thing that's afraid of him is a freshly baked fucking butter loaf.
And yet, I've got these three guys who are all seemingly to compete.
Oh, don't be a fucking Danish around coffee time. This motherfucker would be salivating. That's the only thing that's afraid of this motherfucker is a Big Mac or a Whopper.
With, Voldemort, he who shall not be named. They don't want to talk about it. The fact is that when you go and you say the truth about somebody
who the fuck is Chris Christie to take on Trump? You know what? Trump was a citizen. He wasn't a politician. He said for decades and decades, rich people didn't like him. He didn't give a shit because he didn't feel what's the word? There's a specific word. He wasn't like one of the elite. He understood the plights of people. He built an empire. Much like with the empire I'm building. Well, I'm a blue-collar guy. I come from the ground up. So what we're doing, the movement we're doing, we're going to help a lot of people. We're going to move the whole thing along, and everybody who's a part of it's going to benefit. That's I'm hoping to build a real strong community. That's what the whole out-of-the-box thing is. Out of the box. We're going to, everybody is going to be doing good. You know what I mean? That's what that's about. Same thing with Trump. He got the Rosa Parks, an award from Rosa Parks and shit. I mean, whatever. Chris Christie, this boy's a fucking joke. I don't understand where he's come from. I don't know why he's here. Chris Christie? It's lucky he's not in fucking jail. And I'm going to say this. I don't give a fuck you're a presidential candidate. You better not just go walking around. Because you got a loud fucking mouth and a nasty attitude. Somebody might like to fucking wipe that off your face one day.
Who is a dictator, a bully.
A dictator, a bully.
Who has taken shots at everybody, whether they...
Like you, Jelly Bean? Look at that face. Oh, look at that face. Only a face a mother could abort.
They've given him great service or not over time, who dares to disagree with him, then I understand why these three are timid to say anything about it.
You know, this is why we listen to the inauguration speech first. So, whenever they talk about Trump or what Trump wants to do, remember that inauguration speech. That's why it was important that you heard that. Because most Trump supporters never actually took the time to listen to the inauguration speech. That's the voice of the people. That's why he tapped into the masses. And he's taken the licks from a corrupt government. The same fashion that we keep yelling about. Everybody, from BLM, from people in inner city ghettos, to people in the suburbs that are overpaying taxes and getting overran by migrants and getting taxed by the locals. We are the people. We run this country. It is our country, our government. That was the message. So every time they attack that, they are attacking you. That's why the context. Everybody wants to push it into context. Well, the context is that everything that Trump's running on is for you. Your will. So when they attack it, they're attacking you. Every one of these. Every time they bash Trump. Now, we're supposed to drink again. I'm going to take a drink of this. We are going to take a quick break so I could catch up on a couple of comments and check in on a couple of other going-ons. We will reconvene here in about 7 minutes. All right. So, quick word from our sponsors, and we will reconvene very shortly. Give me about 7 minutes. grave. Jesus fucking Christ. A long time I tried to do this shit. Chill for a little bit. Now remember, kiddies, trust the government. Trust the experts. The government, the U.S. government, knew that the Japanese military had gained intel. And all you need to know is what ships were not in the harbor that day. This was the 9/11 that got us into World War II. Oh man, just about says it all, doesn't it? Well, America, here we don't fucking lie to you. And that's why they ban us so much. When COVID first came out, we were exposed in the COVID lab papers from 2010. I'll be honest though. I don't like the fact that I'm right about half the shit that I say. Forget about the fact that I've been, my track record is what it is. That's horrible. That's scary. I don't want to be right. I hate to report on this shit. But this is the state of the union, the state of affairs. And that's why you guys will come to me, or you'll turn to me, or you'll trust my intuition about certain things. Because, I mean, once you see a certain amount of it, there's no denying where we are. Back to this fucking debate. We're going to end out with Krispy Kreme, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Everything stopped loading. I can't see who's here anymore, whatever. But if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. We're going to close out with Krispy Kreme. Let him finish his statement, and I'm going to call it a night.
Maybe it's because they have future aspirations. Maybe those future aspirations are now, or maybe they're 4 years from now. But the fact of the matter is, the truth needs to be told. And for us to go 17 minutes without discussing the guy who has all those gaudy numbers you talked about is ridiculous. I'm
Trump.
in this race because the truth
won't say
needs
his
to
name.
be spoken.
Trump.
He is unfit. This is a guy who just said this past week that he wants to use the Department of Justice to go after his enemies when he gets in there. I mean, the fact of the matter...
Because they broke laws, they subverted civil rights, and they made up a bunch of bullshit shit. Like true fascists and authoritarians. Justice and retribution, they're two different things. This is warranted in this situation. These people should be in jail for what they've done to Donald Trump. I'll put it to you this way. If they did an eighth of the investigations they've done into Trump, into any one of you, you'd be in prison.
He is unfit to be president, and there is no...
He was a great president. In fact, I thought it was crazy that voting for Donald Trump might might help America. And then he blew away my expectations. Not only was he everything I hoped he would be, he blew it away. Blew me away. His policies were right on point with where we should be. But then again, that's why we voted for an outsider, a businessman. The U.S. is a corporation. As much as you want to believe that or not, that's what it is. That's what it needs to be ran like a business. Donald Trump's a hell of a businessman. He's shrewd. He's fighting on behalf of you. So I don't understand why you wouldn't like him. There's people like Chris Christie, Joe Biden, Nikki Haley. They've never actually done anything themselves. So they just say, we're in power and we're going to take your money and this is what we think. But with their own actions and their own, drive, they've done nothing themselves except for extort you to just throw it at things. Like this motherfucker closed the beach and then sat on it himself. Closed the bridge and then acted like he didn't know about it. Of course he knew about it. There's no way he didn't know about it.
No bigger issue in this race, Megan, than Donald Trump, and those numbers prove it.
Governor Christie, we will be addressing that issue.
The only numbers proven with Donald Trump is the fact that he's at like 75% and you're at like 20%. So you're talking about a landslide. Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. Nothing's going to change that. More indictments. I will vote for the man if he's in prison. I don't care. He could be the first president to win the presidency from prison. I vote for him. With the way they turn the system, nope. Like Douglas Mackey. Put that man in prison for years for a meme. Because Hillary supporters are fucking retarded. But Democrats could tell you the wrong date and they don't get charged. January 6th, you're in there in the bottom of the prison. They were asking to go to Guantanamo. The conditions were so bad. Oh, we want to go to Guantanamo over this. Gitmo over where they were. With no charges. But BLM burned down entire cities, set up Chop Chaz, murdered over 30 people. What about David Dorn? That man was killed over television. He was protecting his friend's business while a bunch of terrorists were burning down the goddamn nation after the George Floyd riots. And then it turns out the FBI falsified autopsy reports to get that man convicted. I'm not going to die on the hill of Eric Chauvin. But justice is justice. And if you got a fake evidence to get someone convicted to appease a bunch of fucking terrorists, that's not the side I'm going to root for. That's it. That's all I got to say about that.
Issue of Donald Trump in just a moment, but I'd like to first get to some questions on Israel. Governor DeSantis, tonight as we speak, the war is back on in Gaza. Israeli tanks are on the move and have surrounded the home of the leader of Hamas. 8 Americans have been held hostage in the tunnels beneath Gaza for 60 days now. American troops and warships in the Middle East are under attack. How far would you go as president to secure the release of those 8 American hostages? And would it include sending American forces into combat?
We have to look out for our people. When there are hostages, Commander-in-Chief, you have to do whatever you can to get.
All right, here's a simple fucking answer. You got an American? I'm going to come and kill every one of you motherfuckers until I get every one of them. And for every piece of body I have to pick up, I'm taking 10 of your men. There is no American hostage. Fuck you. You don't want us involved in this, then you give us our people back, or I'm going to dismember you until every fucking one of them are collected safe. And if they're not, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's the simple answer. We don't negotiate with terrorists. You got one of our people? Good. Give them back. Well, good night. That's it.
Get them done. But the overall issue with this is this administration is trying to hobble.
Because technically, anything else is leaving a man behind. And we don't leave a man behind.
Israel from being able to defend itself. They have a right to eliminate Hamas and win a total and complete victory so that they never have to deal with this again. Hamas wants nothing less than a second Holocaust. They would wipe off every single Jew off the map. They would destroy the state of Israel if we could. Joe Biden will say they support Israel, and then they do nothing but try to kneecap them every step of the way. You should not try to direct their war effort. We should work together with them so that they can bring Hamas to heel. Look, I served in Iraq back in the day. I'm the only one running for president that served in the military. I understand that part of the world. It's not the best part of the world. We do have troops there that Biden is leaving basically as sitting ducks. And you have the Iranians that are attacking these troops, and he's responding with basically pinpricks. If you harm an American service member, you're going to have hell to pay when I'm president. We are not going to let our troops be sitting ducks. We also need to look at what's the underlying problem here. Iran. Biden is doing nothing to bring Iran to account. You got to turn the screws on them. Don't let them have any oil revenue. The money they get, they send to Hamas, they send to Hezbollah, and they foment jihad throughout the Middle East. So Biden has empowered Iran just like he's empowered other adversaries. We stand with Israel. They're our best ally in the Middle East. We have a unique relationship with them, and you will see a strong relationship when I'm the president of the United States.
But would you send Elizabeth, look, this is the problem with the first three debates. Ron gets asked a question, and he doesn't answer it. Your question was very specific. You said, would you send American troops as commander-in-chief? And he went on to this minute and 30-second hosanna about his knowledge of the military and what we need to do, and didn't answer your question. Look, when you're president of the United States, you're not going to have a choice whether to answer that question or not. Your generals, your Secretary of Defense, your Secretary of State, your National Security Advisor are going to present plans to you. They're going to look at you and say, do we go or don't we, Mr. President? And you can't give a 90-second speech about your military service, as laudable as it is.
Would you send American troops in to rescue those hostages?
Absolutely. If they had a plan which showed me that we could get them out safely, you're damn right I'd send the American Army in there to get our people home and get them home now. And I'll answer that question directly.
Thank you, Governor Chris.
All right. I'm kind of okay with that. You have Americans, you're going to feel the wrath of the American government. Us as people who pay for it feel it illegally and unfairly every day. But you're gonna take an American. Yeah, you bet your ass we're gonna come and take them. We're gonna come take them back. If anybody's gonna terrorize an American, it's gonna be our government.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you have said it was irresponsible for Ambassador Haley to call Hamas's terrorist rampage an attack on America and for her to, quote, rabidly shout, finish them, end quote. The Hamas terror attack left dozens of Americans dead and was the deadliest attack on Jews since the Holocaust. Why wouldn't it be a good thing to finish Hamas?
Finish them was purposefully vague in a discussion that included Iran, which is what I objected to. And I think it's, as U.S. president, you have to be responsible. What happened to Israel was dead wrong. What Hamas did was medieval. It was subhuman. It was immoral. And we have to call that out for what it is on October 7th. But to say that that was an attack on America fails a basic test. I mean, Nick, if you can't tell the difference between where Israel is and the U.S. is on a map, I can have my 3-year-old son show you the difference. That is irresponsible because it has major consequences, because that doesn't leave room for what actually is an attack on America. So I believe I have the strongest pro-Israel position actually on the stage, even though it's a little bit different than the standard GOP talking points. And it is this. The founding vision of Israel, David Ben-Gurion, the George Washington figure of Israel, what did he believe? He believed that we don't want, as Israel, to depend on the fleeting sympathies of the West and have our hands tied. I think Israel has an absolute right to defend itself to the fullest, without the U.S., the UN, or the EU, or anybody else second-guessing their decisions, as the Biden administration, guess what, is now starting to do. I think that's a more deeply pro-Israel position than anybody else. And it
Good
keeps the
answer.
actual
Good
lines of
answer.
accountability clear, because it is a pro-American position. And as leader of the United States of America, just as a father of 2 sons, my sole moral duty is to my family. As your next president, my sole moral duty is to you, the people of this country. That's how I'm going to lead. So I'll tell Bibi, you smoke the terrorists on your southern border, you go ahead and we're rooting for you. We're going to smoke the terrorists on our own southern border, and that's how I'm going to lead this country.
But Americans were killed in that attack. Americans were killed in that attack. And so if you looked at this terrorist attack and the number of Americans, this would be one of the top 10 terrorist attacks in American history. So our own people were killed in that attack. And I think it's absolutely appropriate to point that out and to say that we're in this together, and we are going to work with Israel so that these people are brought to justice.
I agree with that.
Ambassador Haley, I'm coming to you. Iran is on the threshold of becoming a nuclear state. The Wall Street Journal reported that Iranian military leaders gave the green light for Hamas's attack on Israel. You said in last month's debate that, by contrast to the Biden administration's approach to Iran, you would, quote, punch them once and punch them hard. Were you saying that it's time to bomb Iran?
No, I was not saying it's time to bomb Iran, but I will tell you, I dealt with Iran every day when I was at the United Nations, and they only respond to strength. What they don't respond to is when you weaken the sanctions like they did on Iran that allowed China to send them billions to fill their proxies. What they don't respond to is when you give $6 billion for 5 hostages. That only makes them want more hostages. What they don't respond to is when they do 140 strikes on our men and women in Syria and Iraq, and we do nothing but just some small shots back. You've got to punch them, you've got to punch them hard, and let them know that.
You gotta hit them so hard that they're gonna contract my husband's firm to make them weapons to hit them back, to our profit off of war. Well, now we're gonna play the little game of spinny wheel, spinny wheel.
The only way they're going to respond. So the way you do that is you go after their infrastructure in Syria and Iraq where they're hitting our soldiers. That's what you do, and then that's when they'll back off. The problem is you have to see that all of these are related. If you look at the fact Russia was losing that war with Ukraine, Putin had hit rock bottom. They had raised the draft age to 65. He was getting drones and missiles, drones from Iran, missiles from North Korea. And so what happened? When he hit rock bottom, all of a sudden, his other friend, Iran, Hamas goes and invades Israel and butchers those people on Putin's birthday. There is no one happier right now than Putin, because all of the attention America had on Ukraine suddenly went to Israel.
You know what made Putin rich and Iran rich? The U.S. no longer drilling and supplying oil. Biden came in day one, shut everything down. In fact, places of the U.S. are banning combustible engines. They're going to get you all hooked onto the grid. So when an EMP hits, you got nothing, folks. Talk to me in 10, 15 years. That's the timeline you're looking at. Oh, with the fucking spinny wheels. Shut up, bitch. Just.
And that's what they were hoping is going to happen. We need to make sure that we have full clarity that there is a reason, again, that Taiwanese want to help Ukrainians, because they know if Ukraine wins, China won't invade Taiwan. There's a reason the Ukrainians want to help Israelis, because
in March of 2022, there was a peace deal worked out between Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin, and Biden wouldn't have anything to do with it, and then Boris Johnson ripped it up and condemned it. So they wanted the war to go on. Now, the areas that they're worried about when it comes to Putin, first of all, half of the people identify as Russian. They were telling a nuclear superpower that they were going to end a contract that they had with them to access their nuclear subs in the waterways of Ukraine. You're not going to tell Vladimir Putin that you can no longer access your own nuclear subs. I'm sorry, we're a nuclear superpower and you are what? They were the most corrupt government on the planet. We'll go that far. Everybody else just outright robs. These people acted like they didn't, but they did. Big time. That's why all these billions and billions are going over there and nothing's being done with it. It's so easy. This Ukraine war thing is so fucking easy. Wouldn't have happened. Could have been prevented. No fucking need for it. And Zelensky just slaughtered a shitload of Ukrainians. Now, there's another aspect to this that nobody thinks about. This is why they really crucify Vladimir Putin. Put on your listening ears. You ready for this? I'm gonna give you the insight. The Western culture has turned into a culture where drag queens read stories to children, where the schools do not tell the parents that their children are going to receive hormone therapy, that they identify as the opposite sex, which is, it's physically, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. You want to trust the science, trust the biology. XY, XX, two different things. Okay, so now that we got that put aside, Vladimir Putin saw what the fuck is going on with the West, doesn't like the globalist initiative, okay? Where it's going to be one entity that rules the planet. That's happening. That's going to happen, folks. He doesn't like that. He will not be told what to do by the NWO. Well then, Bobby, why is he teaming up with China? Because China's going to run it. China is going to be the master of the world. And for all you people that love Islam, that hates everybody else, China hates Islam. So use these people to kill all those people, and then you could kill all these people. It consolidates your work. It's coming. What the fuck did you type, Blunt Man? Listen, I'm gonna give about another 5 minutes of this GOP debate, and then I'm gonna call it a night. It's nighttime for me. I got a long day tomorrow, but we will go live tomorrow. We're gonna be going live again. We're gonna be putting out videos, as you see. I think I put out 1 or 2 or 3, something like that. This channel's coming back. Oh, there's a lot to say. I love each and every one of you. And we're going to close off with this little globalist, this little Warhawk, who profits whenever somebody's kid dies in battle. For, the only battle worth dying in is when the government comes to take your guns from your house. I'll die in that battle any day. Going over to a foreign country to fight some other foreign country? No. Come to my house to take my guns. Yeah. 100 all day. I didn't lose any of my guns in the goddamn boat and fishing trip. I lost my favorite gun reenacting the Civil War, though. The Revolutionary War. So, if you feel like dying today, you can come to my house. But when your warrant turns up nothing, I'd hate to see the look on your family's face when they receive a folder flag.
They know that if Iran wins, Russia wins. These are all connected. But what wins all of that is a strong America, not a weak America. And that's what Joe Biden's given us.
I want to say one thing about the tie to Ukraine, if I may. So foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that.
Okay, Russia-Ukraine was real easy. All Zelensky had to say to Putin was, we're going to continue the contract that you can access and dock your nuclear subs in the same fucking port you've been doing for years and years and years, and we're not going to join NATO. That's it. At the fall of the USSR in the 1990s, part of the fucking agreement was that their borders would not be lined with NATO forces. So, that's it. That's simple. And they had the peace treaty. They had everything worked out. Boris Johnson and Joe Biden said no. So, that's it. Putin's not the bad guy here. Biden and Boris Johnson are. The rest of you need to look up history. Vladimir Zelensky jailed his political opponents and bombed his own fucking people in Donbass. Okay? Zelensky bombed his own people. He did that.
Position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for. And there's her puppet masters right there. The donors right there that are playing her like the puppet masters.
Hold on. Let me just say something here. You know, his reasonable peace deal in Ukraine, he made it clear. Give them all the land they've already stolen. Promise Putin you'll never put Ukraine in Russia, and then trust Putin not to have a relationship with China.
You know how many billions and billions and billions of dollars Biden has made Putin when he stopped drilling, American drilling? And then blowing up of Nord Stream 2. Do you have any idea? Now, most of you guys, with your day-to-day, don't pay attention, don't have the time, the forthwith, or the fucking energy or desire to do so. But I watch geopolitics. It's kind of a hobby of mine. When Biden stopped drilling and stopped exporting and stopped flooding the market at a lower rate, Putin started raking in more and more. Biden made Putin billions and billions and billions of dollars that he didn't have before Biden decided to squander American productivity.
China. Let me tell you something. That's no reasonable.
That's not my deal. That's not my deal.
Yes, it's exactly what you said.
You
do this at every debate.
I'll tell you exactly what
don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Okay? You say this. You do this. You do this at every debate. You go out on the stump and you say something. All of us see it on video. We confront you on the debate stage. You say you didn't say it, and then you back away. And I want to say what?
Exactly
no,
what I said, Chris.
I'm not done yet.
Well, this
now
is.
Look.
This is. This man is spewing. This man is spewing nonsense.
Let me tell you something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voting in the first 20 minutes as.
Half the problem with America is the fact that anybody just clapped for Krispy Kreme Christie. Oh my God. Oh, this man. And you want to talk about corruption? Give me a second. Working on my stars. I'm getting all my packages open and delivered. I'm working on a brand here, people. All right, and put myself out there, risking my name, persona, and reputation, delivering truth to the fucking people. I know I'm not professional. I don't have the set of Steven Crowder. I don't have the presentation of Dan Bongino. But I am me, and I'm deciding I'd rather embarrass myself on a tiny little podcast sharing truth with people who care enough to pay attention than chasing a wishful dream that I'll someday be P. Diddy without really having changed anything for anybody. So, at least here, you got somebody who cares enough to embarrass himself and give his opinions. This fat motherfucking piece of shit. Chris Christie is, I would say, about 60% of the reason I don't want to have to pay for other people's health care. Now, we're going to close it out on this. And I'm going to leave you with this. And then you'll understand why I made it somewhat a joke about watching this. Okay?
It's the most obnoxious blowhard in America. So shut up for a little while.
Obnoxious blowhards. So, Chris Christie does own a mirror. All right.
I'm gonna respond to that. I want to say your version of
We're gonna let you respond to that. We're gonna let you respond to that.
I'll take that.
I want to say something else. We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted
25 minutes. Goddamn. This has got to be like a 3-hour live so far. And we're 25 minutes into this debate. Oh. 25 minutes. This is... We're going on at 2 hours and 45 minutes. Collectively. Just about 3 hours. And this is 25 minutes into the debate. Oh. There's going to be a part 2 and most likely a part 3. We'll do this tomorrow. I'm going to let him finish out his statement. I'll give you my closing statement for this segment. And we're going to pick this up. I hope to see you all tomorrow. If y'all give a fuck about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, then we shall pick this up tomorrow.
Nikki Haley's basic intelligence, not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions. She wouldn't be able to find something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in the Republican.
It's hard out here for a simp. The fuck you talking about? Yeah, you want to send our kids off to war in a land you can't even name.
Primary.
He's fucking simping. What is this? That we call this. Children, take notes. Pull out your notepad. Write down a boot licking. She wants to send other people's kids off to die. And she can't even name the land or why.
And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman and you should stop insulting her.
So I'm going to take this.
She's a piece of shit tyrant who's left people homeless and profits off of other people's children dying in conflicts that she doesn't have to go fight and do not help the American people. Not at all. Look at that look on her face. Look at that fucking smirk. You see that right there? That's an evil bitch. She will send your kids off to war and profit off of it. And that's why you should vote for her. Evil bitch. Evil bitch. I hope when she dies, it's during a painful bowel movement.
So first of all, I think we just learned something from Chris Christie. We learned 3 things. We learned 3 things right there. First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah.
So do everybody a favor. Just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
Enjoy a nice meal. Go get yourself a Big Mac, fatty.
When it comes to Nikki, I think if you're going to actually send your sons sons and daughters to go die in somebody else's war.
Hold on.
Excuse me, Chris, I'm speaking, and I'm not done yet. You had your chance.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I have not watched this prior to launching this live. I have actually not sat down and watched this. Vivek, I love it. Tear it up, boy. We'll address the other things that a lot of other concerns people have, which are legitimate. Money from Soros for college funds, this and that. That's fair. Trust me. We examine everybody here. Nobody is above the law, as Democrats like to put it. Vote for me.
When you and we're going to be done. So listen up to this. If these people want to send your sons and daughters to go die in Ukraine, they've been arguing for it for a year. $200 billion of our taxpayer money sent over. Neither of them could even name for you the provinces that they actually want to protect. And this is the people who have been touting their so-called foreign policy experience. It is
$200 billion. There's 300 million people. So, do some math. They could have sent you like, what, $700 to $1,000 instead of just look at what they spend on women's studies in Pakistan. The money we send to other countries. They take it out of your paycheck and they ship it overseas. And that's it. It's never to be seen again.
Intellectual fraud. These people are lying to you.
Oh, but if you don't pay that, you're going to get kidnapped and thrown in a cage.
The same people who told you about weapons and mass destruction in Iraq to justify that invasion didn't know the first thing about it, yet they sent thousands of our sons and daughters to go die. The same people who told you the same in Afghanistan, where the Taliban is still in charge 20 years later. $7 trillion of our national debt due to these toxic neocons. You can put lipstick on a Dick Cheney, it is still a fascist neocon.
Thank
and
you,
you gotta
Mr.
see that
Ramaswamy.
today.
Thank you, Mr.
It's Dick Cheney
Ramaswamy.
all over again in this party.
Thank you, Mr. Ramaswamy. 15 seconds.
Name the provinces. Neither of you could even name the first thing about Eastern Egypt.
I think we've had enough.
All right, America. Well, God bless you. God bless America. Y'all need it. We need it. This is who's running to rule the free world. Most people don't realize this. Whoever rules America runs the world. Y'all really think it's just America? No. I'm stating my official endorsement and full support behind Donald Trump for President of the United States 2024. Peace be with you.